So I just had a different project where I needed this 9 volt battery lead, and I remembered I had it on this little goofy thing. So just to remember this project before I tear it apart, this was just a tiny FM transmitter coming out of a 9 volt battery, and then I got this radio to pick it up. So it was essentially like a spy bug, or attempted a spy bug. I think I got this thing on eBay for about $2, and I got several of them, and I got the radio I think for about $6, so all in less than $10. Hooked up to the 9 volt battery. I've got this buck converter here to kind of down regulate the voltage, because this was supposed to be run at 5 volts, but if memory serves, this was totally unnecessary, and this thing actually performed better at 9 volts. I think we got it all the way up to like 20 volts on the bench supply before anything bad happened. And as I remember too, I think it scaled very linearly. The more power in, more power out, obviously, and antenna length made a big difference on this. So it was kind of fun. There's a million projects out there on how to build the actual FM transmitter circuit, but if you're just looking to jump right in, you can get one of these for about $2. Maybe even less now, and these radios are cheap. If you don't have one, then you're probably not going to use it for anything else, but kind of neat to just have around. Only other thought is I'd probably position this differently too in retrospect to get the microphone positioned away from the battery a little bit more and sticking out, depending upon, of course, how you're going to use it. I think we were using this to goof around and spy on the kids, or the kids were spying on each other. Something is how this came up with. And then the only other thing I remember as well is you'll see a dab of hot glue on the pot here on this thing. It was super, super sensitive. So you just touch it and it would go out of tune. I'm here in Southern California, so there's a lot of bandwidth contention already on the FM band, so it was really hard to get it dialed in. And then I would just bump this, and the slightest move would cause it all to go out of sync. So I finally figured out that it was the pot that was just kind of barely adjusting as I'd move it around or touch it. And so my dab of hot glue right over the pot, once we had it all synced in, seemed to do the trick. So, all right, I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you. Oh, quick postscript on this too, as I'm just sitting here thinking about it. There's always a lot of talk about the legality or illegality of these small FM transmitters. Definitely check whatever country you live in. Scope it out. In the U.S., I think it's part 15 of these FCC regs. And generally, my rough understanding, again, don't quote me on this, is I think it's antenna's got to be less than a meter. I think it's 100 milliwatts of power or less. And then I think there's even some clause about how the range has to be 100 feet or less. Again, I think as long as you're not using this maliciously or interfering with anybody else's signal, it's hard enough to get these things to work correctly in your own home. You'd have to really go out of your way to get in trouble for it, but who knows? Just be safe, be smart, have fun. Bye-bye.